Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is still doing well. Well, I have a middle of the night bonus upload, one that is going to knock your socks off, because it is some information that we all know is going on. But this is kind of like a verification. It's a article that I found in a military or soldier of fortune kind of magazine, and I want to share it with you now. But before we get into it, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership is in the description below. The merch is displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost you a cent. Click that like button. Takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click that bell icon. And folks, please leave a comment. Why? Well, because all these things, they really do help this channel to continue to grow and go. And yes, folks, they definitely matter. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump into this middle of the night bonus upload, shall we? On April 12, 2017, the U.S. Air Force dropped the largest conventional bomb in Pentagon's arsenal to flush out Islamic State terrorists, according to official Pentagon reports. However, insider testimony suggests another reason for the use of the MOAB bomb. The undisclosed goal is to flush out, capture, or destroy giants hiding in Afghanistan's ancient cavern system who possess technological secrets going back to the origins of human civilization. The massive Ordnance Air Blast Bomb, MOAB, aka Mother of All Bombs, contains 21,600 pounds of explosives and has a mile-long blast radius. The intercepted report that the MOAB has not used by Bush administration back in 2003 due to fears of collateral damage. President Trump appears to be living up to his pledge to bomb the shit out of ISIS. But is he? Are ISIS terrorists the real target, or just a cover for an undisclosed enemy? A threat Trump may not have been briefed on, but one locked in the crosshairs of the deep state that is really behind the Pentagon attack. A number of whistleblowers have come forward with stories of giants hiding in Afghanistan and other locations, where these giants are currently awakening from stasis chambers. They have been asleep and for thousands of years. Secret Space Program whistleblower Corey Goad was among the first to publicly disclose the existence of stasis chambers that have been holding perfectly preserved giants for millennia. In August 4, 2015 interview, Goad disclosed how he had accessed information on smart glass pads during his covert service about these sleeping giants and technology of the stasis chambers that were preserving them, Goad said. When I was in the program, the Secret Space Program, when I would have had time to sit and look at smart glass pad, there was lots of information that I looked at. And one of them was that there were beings that were found underneath the surface of the earth. Usually underneath mountains, burial mounds, Indian burial mounds, that were not dead, but weren't quite alive. They called them stasis beings, and it turned out that had used technology that had been there long prior. For this group, they were called Ancient Builder Race, so it didn't put the beings in stasis chamber that a lot of us would think of, as in being frozen, but it just changed the way they experienced time. They would probably go to sleep for maybe 20 minutes and 30,000 years or so would pass by. Goad described the size of these beings found in the stasis chamber. And to look down in, they saw they're very tall beings, or very large giant humans with reddish beards. These tall red-headed, red-beard groups were in Europe and South and North America, and apparently at one time, before the last ice age apparently, they had a very large area that they ruled. According to Stephen Quayle, who has written several books about the giants, elite U.S. military forces have been stationed around the world, including Afghanistan, to locate these giants. He cites elite military personnel who have spoken to him about these battles with the giants. During one of Quayle's radio interviews on Coast to Coast, one of his military informants called in and told the audience about an incident in Afghanistan involving a deadly encounter between a 12-foot giant and U.S. Special Forces. The informant claimed that the giant had killed 9 members of the elite team sent to capture it, and it took a second team to arrive and finally kill the giant. I have heard similar stories from other Special Force operatives stationed at MacDill Air Force Base who have served in Afghanistan and is knowledgeable about the secret war to capture or kill these giants. Presently encouraged operative to come forward with his testimony through a third party. Quayle uses biblical sources to support his analysis of the giants and what they mean for humanity in the current era. Basically, he views them as the biblical Nephilim, who are offspring of fallen angel, who interbred with humanity as mentioned in the book of Genesis. The Nephilim were on earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came into the daughters of man, and they bore children to them. These were the mighty men who were of old and men of renown. Genesis 6:4. There are multiple biblical passages that refer to the Nephilim and the wars waged against them by the ancient Israelites. So they brought to the people of Israel a bad report of the land that they had spied out, saying, "The land through which we have gone to spy it out is the land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people that we saw in it are of giant height. And they saw the Nephilim, the son of Anak, who came from the Nephilim, and seemed to ourselves like grasshoppers, and so we seemed to them." Numbers 13:31 through 33. The Nephilim, or giants, according to Quayle, were predicted to reemerge during the end of times, and be restored to power by a corrupt global elite who maintain a bloodline connection to the fallen angels. In an article known as The Fallen Angels, described in biblical, were actually extraterrestrial refugees who established a colony in Antarctica approximately 60,000 years ago. The extraterrestrials originated from Mars, established their Antarctic colony right over the ancient builder race technology that is millions of years old, according to Corey Goad. The fallen angels, extraterrestrial refugees, pre-Adamites, according to Goad, established colonies all over and around the world, including the Middle East. They used genetic engineering to create hybrid offspring, the Nephilim, giants, who were placed in positions of authority to rule as proxies for the ancient refugees in Antarctica. The ultimate source of power of the Nephilim was the advanced extraterrestrial technologies possessed by their progenitors, the fallen angels, Martians, pre-Adamites. In a strange irony, perhaps intentional, the Bible refers to the tribe descending from MOAB, the son of Lot, who battled giants called Imim. the book of Deuteronomy says. The Emim lived there formerly, a people as great, numerous, and tall as the Anakim. Like the Anakim, they are also regarded as Rephaim, but the Moabites call them Emim. The Horites formerly lived in Seir, but the sons of MOABs disposed them and destroyed them from before them and settled their place, just as the Israels did to the land of their possession which the Lord gave them. In this passage, the descendants of Moab destroyed the giants in the land that the Moabites wanted to settle. Now, the Pentagon just used a bomb called MOAB, allegedly to destroy giants hiding in Afghanistan's cavern system. If Quayle and other sources are correct, this does not appear to be a mere coincidence. Isis, goddess of wealth, marriage, and wisdom with outstretched wings. In addition, the name Isis refers to an ancient Egyptian goddess, widely worshipped throughout the ancient Middle East as a benevolent entity. It would not be a stretch to view her as among the fallen angels, extraterrestrial refugees, or Nephilim that influenced human affairs through advanced technologies and made them appear godlike to humanity at the time. In an article from 2016, it is described at length that motivations of these giants are far more complex than what biblical accounts suggest. Some of the giants, according to multiple sources cited in the article, were benevolent and not all bloodthirsty tyrants. Isis may have been a benevolent giant or an extraterrestrial refugee who had access to advanced technologies and wished to help humanity evolve in a positive direction. This suggests a hidden agenda behind the use of the acronym ISIS to describe Islamic fundamentalist groups behind global terrorism. Are we currently repeating history where humans are attacking giants to gain control over territory and ancient knowledge? This appears to be the case in Afghanistan with the recent use of MOAB against the alleged ISIS terrorists. If the analysis is correct, then what we are witnessing in the Middle East in terms of the war against ISIS terrorists is a covert war against giants, some of whom are followers of the ancient goddess Isis. The April 6th Pentagon strikes against Syria might also be a part of this covert war being waged against giants. On the border between Syria and Lebanon lies Mount Hermon, which is described as the main base of operation of the fallen angels. And it came to pass, when the sons of man had increased, that in those days were born to them a fair and beautiful daughters. And the angels, the sons of heaven, saw them and desired them, and they said to one another, "Come, let us choose ourselves wives from the children of man, and let us beget for ourselves children." And they were in all 200. And they came down on the Artis, which is the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called the mountain Hermon because on it they swore and bound one another with curses. Mount Hermon is where the Nephilim had their center of power for the Middle East, and is presumably much of their advanced technology is hidden there. Consequently, the renowned push for U.S. to enter the Syrian civil war is not driven by humanitarian concerns at all, as claimed by President Trump. Instead, the real goal is for the U.S. military forces to enter Syria, locate the ancient bases used by the fallen angels and giants, and gain control over the extraterrestrial technologies that are hidden there. Clearly, the surge of U.S. military activities in Afghanistan and Syria is a matter of great global concern due to the loss of innocent lives. What adds to such concern is evidence that giants, some of whom may be benevolent, are being secretly targeted for capture or destruction. The information that giants have about ancient human civilization, advanced technologies, and extraterrestrial life deserves to be publicly released as soon as possible and not withheld to further the interest of the U.S. military and global elites who seek to monopolize information possessed by giants for their own hidden agendas. Wow, what an amazing article. I think it's interesting that they were using MOABs while hunting Nephilim in the Middle East. Mother of all bombs in the Middle East. Moab was a kingdom in the Middle East. Moabites were the people. And they were kind of like the enemy of the Israelites, I guess, but they did conquer the Canaanites. Canaanites? Supposedly Nephilim themselves. Supposedly St. Christopher was a Canaanite. If you dig deep enough, you'll find that. I've shared that before on the channel anyway. Anyway, guys, thank you for supporting the channel. Your support is what makes this channel so special and what continues its growth. Please stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant. Keeping an eye on our children, our pets, our family, and friends. These creatures are real. They're out there. They are dangerous. Share this information with the people you love and care about, and it may just help save their lives someday. Until next time, never stop pushing back, never stop asking questions, and God bless you all.